Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Virtual Wargaming Live Battle Report. Today I have an 800 point game of Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition between Ogre Kingdoms and Hordes of Chaos using the pitched battle scenario. I am aware that this is very surprising with my past 4 videos to see me just playing a regular, bog standard, more than 500 point game. I have been thinking I need to do something a bit bigger. And unfortunately, Ogre Kingdoms just can't run in anything other than warbands, and I didn't want to put like 10 models on the field and call that an army, or have like a gigantic pile of Noblars to go over that. So I figured we'd just go to like experimenting with regular games, and 800 points seems like... I've never actually done 800 points before, but I saw someone playing Tau with it, and I was like, wow, that seems like a weird number, but like a good number I want to try out. So, here we are. So, I'm going to go ahead and let's have a look at our armies, starting with the Hordes of Chaos. So, we have, first off, a unit of 20 Marauders with full command. Not full command, they only have a chieftain and a standard bearer, there is no musician. And they are taking the leader, the aspiring champion of Chaos, right here. And she has a soul cleaver, the crimson armor of Dargan, and a shield. I don't know if I mentioned it, these guys have shields and light armor. We have 2 other units of Marauders of Chaos, these just 10 each, here, and each of these are equipped with great weapons, no armor, no shield, nothing like that. One of them has just a chieftain, and the other one has a chieftain and a standard bearer in it. We also have 2 units of Warhounds of Chaos, one with 6 models, one with 5. A unit of 8 Marauder Horsemen equipped with spears. For our special, we have 5 Chaos Furies. I love their goofy faces, honestly. Hero Forge is not very good for making demons. So this is what we ended up with. I got, I think Batfolk or an alien. I don't remember which it is. I know there's Batfolk parts in this one. But these are the same ones that we used in Battle of Emerald Pass. But again, I know, I like the design, so here we are. And then finally, for their rare, we have a unit of 10 crossbowmen with a musician. These are Dogs of War. First time any of them have appeared on my channel. I feel like people are missing out on the value of Dogs of War in armies, especially like Hordes of Chaos. You don't have any ranged. You need something to put pressure on the enemy. Just spend your rare slots on Dogs of War. You get Giants or Chaos Spawn or Dragon Ogres in some ways. Those are not nearly as important, I think, as just having some ranged. So, with that covered, let's go ahead and have a look at our Ogre Kingdoms army. Leading them, also, I apologize, these guys look kinda goofy. Hero Forge doesn't have great ogre looking options, unless I want to sit there forever, butchering their faces and making them really, really, really ugly. So this is what we've got for today, and hopefully you will forgive me. So, leading the army, we have a Bruiser. He's carrying an Iron Fist, he has heavy armor, a Luck Noblar, not pictured because I forgot about him till the end, and he's wearing the Gutmore. There's a decent amount of chieftains, actually, so he might get to use that, or he might just end up sending all of the chieftains running away to the back of the field. Who knows? He is accompanied by a unit of 3 Iron Guts. That is the guys with heavy armor and great weapons. For anyone not familiar with Ogre Kingdoms, I know I wasn't, because for the longest time, I thought they were 7th edition army, not a 6th edition army, which is why they haven't appeared here yet, because by the time I realized my mistake, I hadn't done battle reports for a long while, and then I just didn't get around to it again until today. So, in addition to that, we have 2 units of just Ogre Bulls, one here, one here. They have light armor and Iron Fists on both of them. We also have a unit of 9 Noblar Trappers who are out scouting. This is, I think, as far forward as I could actually deploy them on this battlefield, since all the other cover is over here, and that's within range of these guys. And then, I guess I could have, tucked them in here, maybe? Barely? But that just wouldn't have worked as well. So, they're over here. And then finally, in the middle, we have a unit of 3 Lead Belchers. So yes, it's a very small army. Hopefully it will do well. And if not, I reiterate, I've never played Ogres before, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And I've already rolled for who goes first, and it's going to be Hordes of Chaos. So let's get to it. So we're going to start off with Marauder Horsemen. These guys are fast cavalry, so I'm just going to scoot them up to here. We're not even going to wheel them, really. We're just going to... No, actually, we're not going to wheel them, because I want them pressed up nice and close. And we're just going to scoot them over this way, so that they're not in line of sight of these Ogre Bulls, because I don't want to get charged yet. These guys are going to go ahead and push forward. I know I don't have to push, because I have the crossbowmen. And I am going to stop at a certain point. Actually, we're going to push these guys forward first. 8 inches, not quite 8 inches, 7 inches to secure that hill. Then we're going to pull these guys forward 8 inches. They barely miss the swamp, which is going to be difficult terrain. Oh, I didn't cover terrain. Real quick. All the little bits with trees, and the basically they're defined by the leaf line outline on the ground. That is difficult terrain. That's forests, so you can only see 2 inches into them. And go half movement. Hills, they block line of sight. We all know how this works. Rock piles, impassable, block line of sight. And then finally, this is, I think, the first appearance of swamps in a live battle report. I know I had them in... Is it Kefri's tomb? I don't remember which one it is. My vampire counts as Tomb King's battle report. But they just are difficult terrain, so you can still see through them just fine. They don't give cover or anything. They just slow you down. Bad times all round. Alright, next up we have our Chaos Hounds. And let me quickly check my notes, because I think they have 7-inch movement. But I don't know that for certain. Yes, they do. Alright, so these guys are going to go forward a bit. And then they're going to wheel. Because these guys aren't fast cavalry. And that is like genuinely devastating to me that they're not fast cavalry. So I think that's good. Yeah, because that was about 8 inches forward, and then they move a little bit further. Yeah, they're fine. Okay. They can go 14 inches. I need to remember this. These guys are going to... Okay, let's be real here. The Noblars are not going to charge them. Oh, but they're actually going to clip that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to wheel them first. And then they're going to go ahead and fall back like that. So it's going to scoot them forward to here. It's 1.7. And then woof woof, bark bark, they just go zooming across the battlefield. I don't know why I say the things that I say. Especially when I'm recording, but here we are. Alright, and then finally, the Chaos Marauders are going to move forward. And then we have our Chaos Furies, and they are going to... They're going to follow these guys up, because I actually... No, they're going to follow them up to here. So the idea is, if the Noblars show up, I can charge them with the Furies, because the Furies will have, assuming that they're not in the forest, which they will be, because I am the one playing both sides. But if they're not in the forest, I could charge them and get, basically, like, wipe the unit almost certainly. If not, from this position, I can still charge the Ogre Bulls, or maybe the Iron Guts, and failing this, I can just zoom over them, get behind, do all of that fun stuff. Alright, so with that, that's me the end of the movement phase. We're going to have a little look at our crossbows. And they're going to go ahead and they're going to shoot at the Iron Guts. And they are in range, but they're going to be long range for this one. So they're going to be hitting on 5s. And because there is only 3 models in this unit, or 4 models in this unit, I have to actually randomize hits. So 4 successes. I'm just going to roll 4 d4s. On a 4, the bruiser gets hit. Nope. Alright, fantastic. So then I can do... Okay, so this is strength 4 armor piercing for a crossbow. No, guns are armor piercing. Crossbows are regular. Okay, so that's a regular attack. So 4 hits, 1's to hit, 4's to wound, 6's to save. Go. And we have killed one of the Iron Guts. And let me just quickly check how these guys are arranged. Okay, so I can kill this guy safely. So that guy is dead. And then we just go ahead and we form ranks 3 wide on these guys, and then we pull this guy away. And he can just actually get deleted. I'm not yet at the point where I'm keeping people alive. Alright, so then that is the end of the first turn for Chaos. So let's get over to the Ogre's turn. These guys went 14 inches forward. These guys have 6-inch movement. I reckon that's going to be 12 inches, honestly. I think what we're going to do, I don't think these guys are going to get into range of these guys, so I don't want them to. I actually want these guys just to move forward. So we're just going to charge Ogre Balls into the Chaos Hounds. So let's go ahead and check if we are in range. And the answer is yeah, barely, because we don't need to wield them. So they just would rush forward. So I'm going to revert them back because we have a leadership test to make for our Warhounds of Chaos. They've got a leadership of 5, so I don't think this is going to succeed. Nope. And then they are going to flee 10 inches directly away. So 10 inches directly away. Actually, 10 inches this way would put them... They're going to be about here is the answer. And we won't wield them yet, but we will eventually. So then these guys go forward just 6 inches. Okay, so the Ogre Bulls. Let me just check our ranges. Yep, we're good to march. Are we good to march? No, we're not good to march. Okay, so we only go 6 inches forward with these guys. But 6 inches forward is enough to get up onto the hill. So they can now see the Marauders of Chaos, and they will be charged to the front if the Chaos Warriors charge, so that's good. Alright, so next up, let's get our Iron Guts. We're going to push them forward 12 inches. And we're going to hope against hope that we don't get hit by more crossbowmen next turn. Because I think we can still get a charge where we'll wheel and then go around this unit. And if not, if I can block them, which will be the plan obviously, then if they charge and this unit flees because of fear, we can redirect into them. Okay, so these guys are now going to move forward about 10 inches. No, we're going to go about 7 inches forward. Lead belchers are going to just turn. Wheel. We're good, because what we want to do is we want to fire at this unit of Chaos Marauders and just like decimate them. Wait. No, these guys are up on a hill. We don't want to do that at all. My bad. We're going to revert the last move, put them back to there. It's going to push forward 10 inches. Like a little bit more than that. Because yeah, these guys can all see them. So I can just fire all of them up at these guys. And fingers crossed that will work. Finally, Noble Trappers. Let me check the range on them real quick. They only have an 8-inch range, so they're not going to be able to do anything this time, but we're still going to scoot them forward. But as I said, because I am aware of the plan on the Chaos side, I'm not going to move them up to the very edge. I'm going to keep them here. The reason for this is that, for those not aware, which I assume is only people who don't really play this game very often, you cannot charge with a flying unit into a unit in a forest. Flying units cannot fly into forests at all. They can perch on top, but they can't go in. So a unit inside a forest is completely safe from a flyer. Alright, so the shooting phase. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to shoot all of my lead belchers at this one. So that's going to be... Alright, so this is going to be rolling artillery dice for each Ogre, and on a 1, they hit themselves. Oh, on a misfire, they hit themselves once, which is a 6. And then, so artillery dice basically will just double the results. So that's going to be, I believe that's going to be 22, but I'm just going to, yes, 22. Alright, so we make 22 attacks. No penalties for moving, shooting, long range, or multiple shots, so they're going to hit on 4s. They are strength 3, so they're going to hit on 3s, and they're going to wound on 7s, because this is light armor, shields, this is a strength 4 armor piercing weapon. Go. Oof, 5, 6, sorry, 6, 7, 8. Not fanatics, me. Dead. There we go. Alright. And then that is going to prompt a panic check from these guys. And they have failed. However, I need to very quickly check something. So I will be back in a moment. Okay, and I am back. So as I thought, the Aspiring Champion of Chaos has a Mark of Chaos Undivided, which allows her to reroll psychology tests, which in this case includes panic tests. So we are going to reroll that, and with a 7, they have passed. If they had failed, this would probably be a very devastating start to the game. So this is like really good for them. They're still in a bad state, don't get me wrong, but it's better than it could be. Alright, and with that, we get to the turn of the Chaos, Hordes of Chaos, so end of turn 1 real quick. We have fleeing these guys, so these 2 units have to take panic checks. So we're going to do the top one and the... Okay, everyone's fine. Fantastic. So let's go ahead... Oh, and then the Chaos Hounds, do they rally? No. So they're going 3d6 inches more off the board, 9 more inches. That's good because that gets them out of provoking more panic tests. Actually, I think that's the incorrect way to direct them. They would actually, yeah, run this way towards the nearest board edge, which would then tap them to the edge, so that takes them off. Okay, let's think about this. There is no scenario in which these Ogre Bulls do not get the charge on these Chaos Marauders. So, do we push for it or do we not? That is the question. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to first off do some charges. So we're going to have the Chaos Marauders charge the Ogre Bulls. I want those spear attacks. I want the first attacks. And we're going to have the Great Weapon Marauders charge the Ogre Lead Belchers. This is a really bad decision because we can't get that... No, I'm going to let them stay, actually. I'm going to let them try and push forward. So let's go ahead and make our leadership test for these guys. 6. That is a success. We have a leadership of 7. So we go forward. And we are, whoops, in. So wheel it around. Slam them in. Maximize touching bases, which is about like so. Yeah, so it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touching bases. Yeah, that's about right. We could make this charge. We're not going to. We're not gonna make this charge. I want the Lead Belchers to have to deal with. I mean, the Lead Belchers aren't gonna do anything next turn is the answer. So what we're gonna do, and then okay, so movement. I have been stumbling for a while here, as you can tell. So these guys are going to move 4 inches forward. And we're just trying to... this is such a bad position for them. We kind of just have to do it this way. And then I'm going to quickly check. Like, the bulk of the unit is on the flank. So if they were to charge now, they would hit the flank, but they can still be seen, so they can still be shot at by some of them. So we're just going to have to hope and pray that everything will pan out for us on the next turn. Alright, these guys, they're going to shuffle forward 8 inches. We're just going to threaten the charge on the Noblars. And these guys are going to 20 inches into position. So that next turn, if we can endure 1 round from these guys, we can hit them in the back with the Chaos Furies, and then get a rear attack bonus on them, and absolutely crush them. So let's get to shooting phase. Where do I want to kill them most? I think I still want to put it into the Iron Guts, because the Iron Guts are going to, if I can kill another one of those, I score victory points off of them. if I can get them to panic or flee. Oh, they were meant to take a panic check last time. Oh well, we're just gonna have to assume that they succeeded because I forgot about that entirely. But if you can get a panic check this turn, then like these guys can just be like dead, basically. So yeah, we're gonna fire at them. So it's gonna be. Oh wait, sorry. Let me check my range. All right, so we're still not in range. So it's gonna be roll individual attack step. 10 attacks. We hit on 5s. 3 successes. Again, we have to randomize. On a 3, now we're hitting the bull. Ooh, 2 hits on the bull. Oh, sorry, on the bruiser, not the bull. So 2 hits, the hit on 1s, and then these will wound on 5s. And he has heavy armor, an iron fist, so it's a 4-up save, 3-up save because he has the gut maul, goes back down to 4-up because of crossbows being strength 4. Nothing. Alright, and then 1 attack, I'm just going to single roll this dice. Does not wound. Okay, so nothing happened. That's honestly expected. So we'll go over here. I already counted this. It was 6 guys in base contact. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, okay, so Ogre Bulls, weapon skill 3. Marauder Horseman, weapon skill 4. Okay, so we're going to hit on 3s. And we don't have anyone else in there, so 6 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 4s. Oh, which do we want to do? I think we're going to use the Iron Fist. We're going to use it as a shield in this instance, so that we actually get an armor save. Still 2 wounds, that's pretty good. 2 wounds, and then I get 4 attacks from horses. Or 6 attacks from horses, sorry. And these ones hit on 4s, wound on 5s, save on 4s. Go. 1 more wound, that is enough to kill one of the Ogre Bulls. Now then, the other 2 get 3 attacks each, so that's going to be 6 attacks. They'll hit on 4s, they will wound on 3s, and Marauder Horsemen only have only cavalry, so they don't get a save at all. And we got no wounds. Wow. A 1 and 2 2s, that's very impressive. So that is going to bring them to combat resolution. 6 guys to 8 guys, but these are on horses, so they're doubling, so they're 16. 3 wounds, that's going to be a loss by 4. So we're going to check. 5, what is their thingo? It is leadership 7, minus 2. Yeah, that's going to be some fleeing ogres. I think they'll only go 2. I'm going to quickly double check this. Back in a moment. I am back, and it is only 2d6 if the unit normally moves 6 inches or less. So 2d6 for these guys for their distance. 7 inches. Oh, let me quickly check. These guys are breaking from combat, and they are about 6 inches away from those guys. I know what page this is on. I don't need to check it. Friends break from close combat within 6 inches. This is going to be a panic check for the lead belchers as well. So 7 inches back for these guys. Don't know why I'm moving them before I've rolled. The Marauders, 8 inches, yep, right. So that is a dead unit of Ogre Bulls and a very overran Marauders of Chaos. And then 2d6, the lead belchers have passed their test, so they're good. Alright, so that brings us to the Ogre's turn. Ogres are going to... Oh, I completely forgot to move the Chaos Hounds. I am going to just say it's too late for me to go back and change that, because it is. So charges. We have Ogre Bulls into Chaos Marauders. We have Iron Guts into Chaos Marauders. So fear check for these guys, because they're being charged by fear causing enemies, 7. They are, I believe, leadership 7. I'm going to double check that. And the answer is... yes, they are. So they pass. They're good. And then these guys... I'm not going to wheel them and maneuver them. We know that they would hit. We know that they would maximize like this, so it's fine. These guys, leadership test for our aspiring chaos. 5, we're good. Again, they would wheel, they would go in, it's fine. I'm not going to bother with that. And then the lead belchers are actually just going to do their whole standing around doing nothing thing because they want to be able to stand and shoot next turn when they get charged. So I am going to actually... They couldn't stand and shoot, could they? Because they're at short range. So actually charging the Chaos Hounds is the best decision here, which means the Chaos Hounds have to make a leadership test. They have failed it. They have to go 3d6 inches away, 13 inches this way. And then that, of course, reveals the charge to these guys, so we're going to redirect. And so they have to make a leadership test as well. They have passed. And, of course, the bulk of the Ogres are on the flank, so they go into the flank here. This is very bad, as I was going to say as the kids might say, but that is not an accurate use of that phrase, which is also the best use of that phrase. Alright, so the Noblars, finally. These guys, I think, only have 4 inches of movement. Yeah, only 4 inches of movement. We're going to... I'm going to just scoot these guys out this way. No, we're going to double move them. Which, yes, I'm fairly certain as skirmishers they can double move while within range. Oh, but do I want to... I'm not going to double move them. We're going to actually just sneakily move the entire unit into this blind spot so that they are immune to charging from the Chaos Furies, and they can then get on the Marauders' flank if necessary next turn. Alright, so impact hits. Let's start here. I just want to quickly check how the impact hits actually work. So I will be back again. Alright, I am back. So, I worked it out how it works. So we're going to have 3 strength 4 hits going into the Great Warriors. Great Weapon Marauders, I should say. They do not have any armor, so they will just have 1 time. And that is 3 dead Marauders. Next up, actually, no, I'm going to do combats 1 at a time. So now that that's done, we get to the attack from the lead belchers. So these guys are going to hit on 4s, and they have 9 attacks. So hit on 4s, they will wound on 3s, these guys save on 7s. 2 more die, which, hey, wouldn't you know it, is exactly how many they have to fight back with, so they can't do anything. Next up we have the Iron Guts and the Bruiser. So the Iron Guts hit separately, so they go 3s. And then the guys will save on 5s because light armor shields hand weapons. 1 dead guy here. And then the Ogre Bruiser, 1 attack, hits on a 1, wounds on a 2, saves on a 6. Go. Another dead guy here. Okay, so now the combat here. The Ogre Bruiser has to issue a challenge. So, oh, doesn't have to, but does he want to? He wants to because he wants to kill the aspiring champion. So if she accepts, then he gets the opportunity. But she is inclined not to accept. And even if she does, she still has... He has to pass a leadership test to hit her. Does he want to do that? I think he doesn't, but then I think the aspiring champion actually wants to issue a challenge. So yeah, there's going to be a challenge happening. So I'm just going to step these two to the side. So we're going to find out first off, can he even hit her? Because he has to try. And the answer is no. The Crimson Armor is just too strong. So now we get into the Iron Guts. So these guys are strength 6 because they have great weapons. They make 6 attack, or 3 attacks each, so 6 attacks total. They'll hit on 4s, they'll wound on 2s, 6 attack goes straight through the armor, so 3 dead guys. Now nothing was directed at the champion, so he still gets to attack back, so he makes his 2 attacks. They hit on 3s, he will wound on 5s. These guys are in heavy armor, so they save on 5s. He gets 1 wound back. Not bad. Now, our aspiring champion. Okay, so the bruiser has 4 wounds. He can reroll 1 save. And our aspiring champion is strength 5 as well. So she gets 3 attacks. She will hit on, she's weapon skill 6, he's weapon skill 5. So she hits on 3s, she wounds him on 4s. Because she's strength 5, he, as I said, he has heavy armor, iron fist, so that brings him up to a 3-up. He's up at a 2-up in melee, brings it back down to a 4-up. So, and he gets to reroll 1 failed attack, which there are none. Wow. Okay, so we'll come back to combat res for those guys. These guys over here. 3 attacks that will wound on 3s go. 2 dead. And then 9 attacks that will hit on 4s, will wound on 3s, and will save on 7s. Go. 4 more dead. I don't know if impact hits actually count against ability to strike back. Even if they don't, this guy, alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna say that they can strike back with the one guy who died from an impact hit, the rest step up, and then we go. Alright, so 3s to hit. They also, they used their Iron Fist like shields. I didn't even think about the fact they had extra attacks. So we're just going to resolve them like that. So that's going to be... So it'd be 4s to save, 5s to save, 6s to save, because they have strength 5 right now. And we have got a singular wound. Alright, so let's do some combat resolution calculations. Here we are on the flank. We are outnumbered, we automatically flee. So they go 2d6 inches, 10 inches, and the Ogres pursue 7. So 10 inches. Rotate them this way. Place this guy here. These guys will die. Ogres pursue 7 inches. Up here, we lost by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, okay, so we took 5. We have a banner, so that's actually, we took 4. We have a extra rank, we took 3. We did a wound, we took 2. We have the high ground, we took 1. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men left versus a unit strength of 10. So these guys outnumber, which unfortunately means that these guys have lost, so they do flee. They flee 12 inches, and the Ogres only pursue 6. Whoops. Wrong button there. So we're going to scoot this girl back into here. Going to spin these guys around. Going to scoot them down 12 inches in this direction. And then we're going to wheel them around. Whoops. My bad there. Line her up like so. Kill these guys. And then these guys overrun 6 inches. And then the bruiser goes back on this side. Let me get right up there and just correctly position him. Finally, over here, this is another auto flee, so they're going to go 3 inches, be pursued 7, so these guys just die. So this is not looking good for Chaos at the end of Ogre's turn 2. I was really expecting that the full-length game would go for more than 3 turns, and I'm starting to fear that won't be the case. With that said, we still have Chaos Furies. These guys, I think they have 2 attacks. No, they only have 1 attack, but they are strength 4. So they might still really hurt one of these units. So let's find out. Chaos turn 2. So these guys can still rally, these guys can rally, these guys can rally. So everyone still can rally. So we're going to start with the Marauders. They rally. The dogs rally. The Marauders over here, they don't rally. And that is everyone. So wheel these back around. Wheel. Scoot them back over here. These guys didn't turn. These guys are still fleeing, so they go 6 more inches off the board. Or this direction, I should say. Okay, so charges, which I should have done before I did rallies, I think, but whatever. Chaos Furies, they can charge the Lead Belchers. Let's go. Is this incredibly dangerous to the point of stupidity? Yes. Do I care? No. Oh, whoops, I set their base sizes wrong. And then we wheel them, and voila. Because if we can get the kill, if we can just break them, then we have gone hugely better than expected. And these guys are more than 8 inches away, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring my Chaos Marauders around to about here. And then we're going to wheel them, 4 wheel, scoot them back over to there. Just keep like an eye on both of these guys and see what we can do. And then finally, a shooting phase, and are these guys visible to all of them? No. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot at the Ogre Bulls because they're almost on top of my crossbowmen, and no, I can't see with... Oh! Actually, I think I can see with this one. No, okay, I can't. But I can see with this one. And with this one. So, yep. That is going to be 9 attacks. And the closest one is 9 inches away. So, yep. 9 attacks, hit on 4s, wound on 4s, save on 6s. Go. Wow. Okay, so this guy is now down 2 wounds. And this guy is dead. That is actually huge. That is a panic check. And these guys are panicking, so they are going 9 inches back this way. So 9 inches away from the cause of panic. Rotate. Kill this guy. Kill these guys. Kill these guys. Remove these guys. This is going better for Chaos as of this turn. So let's go ahead and run this combat real quick. 5 attacks. They will hit on 3s because they're weapon skill. 4, they will wound on 4s. Lead Belchers. Do Lead Belchers have armor? I think the answer is no. They have light armor. Doesn't matter because they're strength 6. Go. Well, strength 4, I should say. Alright, 2 wounds. That is less than ideal. Then we get 9 attacks back. They hit on 4s, they wound on 3s, they save on 5s because they're demonic. Only 1 wound in return. That is actually incredible. Wrong one to kill. Kill this one. Okay, so combat resolution. Lead Belchers outnumber, so this would be a tie. Oh, wait, this is a tie because they no longer have the numbers to get a flank attack, I believe. Once again, I'm going to very quickly double check this, but I don't need to pause like I normally do. Yeah, okay, so extra rank specifies at the start of a round of combat, flank attack doesn't. So I think it is safe to say that it doesn't apply. So yes, this is actually a tied combat. Fascinating. Okay, so this brings us to the Ogre's turn. Let's be real here. These guys are going to just charge at the Marauders again. And I think that's, like, honestly my only decision. So, fear check. Failed. Passed with the reroll for the Mark of Chaos. these guys panic check. Passed. So they get to, or rally, I should say. So they get to reform. They're good. These guys go in. And then the Nobler Trappers are going to sprint forward so that they can start being useful finally next turn by pelting the crossbowmen with their sharp stuff. Alright, oh, and I need to kill the Chaos Fury. Okay, so these guys. So we have, I'm just going to single roll the bruises, impact hit, success. 2 attacks, hit on 1s, wound on 3s, save on 5s. Nothing from either of the Iron Guts. That's good. Okay, so once again, we're going to have the Aspiring Hero with a challenge. And I have a way to easily do this. I'm just going to scoot him around like so. We're just going to keep them in the unit like normal. Okay, so Iron Guts, 6 attacks. Hit on 4s, wound on 2s, save on 7s, go. 4 dead guys. The Chieftain survives, so he gets to attack back, but no one else does. 2 attacks that will hit on 3s, wound on 5s, save on 5s, go. Nothing. Alright, Bruiser, he gets to make his leadership check. Leadership 8. I think that's a pass. I think he has... Yep, he has exactly 8, so he now gets to hit her. We're going to use the Iron Fist as an hitting implement this time. So we're going to be hitting 5 attacks. They'll hit on 4s. They will wound on 3s. She's only toughness 4. She normally has a 4-up save, becomes a 3-up save with the shield. A 5 strength brings that down to a 5-up save. Go. 1 wound. She lives. Can she somehow turn this around? She has 3 attacks. She hits on 3s. She wounds on 4s. He saves on 2s, 3s, 4s. Go. He gets to reroll 1 armor save. I think per game or per turn. And he makes it. Unfortunate. Yep, so that is his Luck Nobler consumed with his once per battle armor save. I think, I'm not sure if Luck Noblers are lucky or if they literally like get caught on the attack and die. I like the second interpretation more personally. Okay, so with that, once again, they are outnumbered, so they're going to have to auto-flee. Oh, wait, let me do this fight over here first, before I do anything else. Leadbelchers, initiative 2. Chaos Fury is initiative 4, so we've got 4 attacks this time. They hit on 3s, they wound on 4s, they save on 7s. Go. Nothing. That would have been really good for them if they succeeded, but alas, they did not. So another dead Chaos Fury. This time, the Chaos Furies have lost by 2. So they have to make a leadership test. 7. That's a failure on their base leadership. They just pass away immediately. So they're just gone. And then the Chaos Marauders are fleeing 8 inches. These guys only flee 3, pursue 3. I think actually they have already captured the standard. I will make a mental note of this. Because I think the moment you flee the first time, you lose your standard. And then you just sort of have a chance of regaining it later. And this is a panic check for these guys, for the Chaos Hounds. So they go 6 inches directly away from this fight. And then that is the end of turn 3, I believe. So actually, I was wrong. We do go a little bit longer than turn 3. But only a little bit right now, it seems like. So, morale checks. Leadership for the Marauders, they've passed. Leadership for the Wolves, they've passed. Wow. Oh yeah, if these guys are fleeing as well, I need to double check that. Other Marauders. for lead from lead belchers. Alright, so then, charges. We're going to charge the Marauder Horsemen at the lead belchers. Let's do that. Fear check, 7, that's a pass. They're in, boys. Yep, they'd be fine. Alright, so 4, wheel. Again, we're just going to get 6 guys in base contact. That's going to be the end of the movement phase for us. Because why would we want to move with our crossbowmen? And they're going to shoot at the Ogres, who I'm going to give light cover to because one of them is in the forest and the other one isn't. So at this distance, it is 10 attacks. They will hit on 6s. They will hit on 6s. They will wound on 4s, and they will save on 6s as well. 1 wound, that's another dead Ogre Bull. The last guy makes a leadership test. He fails, and he cannot rally after this. So he's going 8 inches away. The reason he cannot... Oh! No, he can still rally. He's only at 33% unit strength, and it needs to be below 25%. That is absurd, that 3-man units can never be permanently broken. Okay, so over here, once again, 6 guys in melee combat. This is going to be hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s, saving on 7s. Go! 1 dead lead belcher. 1 wounded lead belcher. That's what we need to see. 6 horse attacks. 4s, 5s, 7s. Go. Wow, another dead lead belcher. That is so good. So that is 4 wounds inflicted. They actually cannot win this fight now. 4s to hit, 3s to wound, 7s to save. Go. 1 dead Marauder Horseman. Okay, so he is hit in the rear. He is outnumbered. He took 4 wounds. He did 1. That's a loss by 5? 6. For the flank is 2. Alright. Yeah, he's going... So he's going at 5 inches this way. These guys are going at 12 inches this way. They actually just stop just shy of them. And then this guy is out of here. Alright, so this is quite the board state. This is about what I expect to be seeing on a game at about end of turn 4, honestly, or middle of turn 4. I love this game so much. It's so stupid, the things that can happen. Okay, so our Ogre Bull rallies, and Noblars are going to take up to the hill. They're going to get ready to do a little charge, but not this turn. The Ogre Iron Guts. Alright, we're going to face them this way. So this is going to be... Hang on. Okay, so this guy needs to move back over to here. And these guys all need to move over 1, because this is the correct positioning. The reason for this is that they're going to wheel around this bruiser when I run the macro, so I want to make sure he is the one in the correct position relative to how the unit should be. So that is going to be a 4.5 inch wheel. They were within 8 inches of that for sure. So this is a 1.5 inch follow-up, but now they can see the crossbowmen as well, which is going to basically necessitate the crossbowmen getting out of dodge. Because I think this is the best chance that the Ogres have of scoring any more victory points right now. And they also want to stay alive, because if they did capture this banner, they're worth another 100 victory points. This guy also wants to stay alive, but he rallied this turn, so we can't do anything. Okay, and then the Noblars, they've moved. It's a throwing weapon. Throwing weapons don't suffer move or shoot or long range penalties off the top of my head. Once again, I'm going to spectacularly quickly check this. No penalties for long range or for moving and shooting. I am a genius. But they can double throw, which is probably what we're going to do in this instance. Yeah, 'cause that's going to be a 5 up to hit. Oh, feck, I completely forgot about Bicker for them. once again, we're just going to have to say that they passed all of their bicker checks so far. Actually, I can literally just roll dice real quick and see if I owe myself 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I owe a bicker check. So next turn, they will fail their bicker check. Guaranteed. Noblars bicker next turn. Let me just put this sitting on the side of the battlefield so I don't forget. I think I have actually done this in the past with other battle reports when I was really starting out. I would just write, don't forget animosity on one side of the orcs, and then just go back and delete it when I was making everything. Alright, so we have there are 9 of them, so 18 attacks. They will hit on 5s, they will wound on 5s. Crossbowmen don't wear armor, and so that is 1 dead crossbowman. Alright. And then that brings us to Chaos turn 5. Okay, let's think about this realistically. I could go and fight the Ogre Iron Guts. I could do that. And that would be basically in some ways throwing the game away, I feel like, because right now we are 2 turns away from the end. This is turn 5, turn 6 the game ends. I would only get 1 turn to fight them. They are only worth, let me quickly check my notes. They're only worth, quote unquote, like 300 points. Victory points. 350. 323. 423 if they have the banner, which I think they do. However, I could take each of the table edges, these 3, instead. And I think that is the more useful application of my time. That's 300 guaranteed victory points. And I'm preserving half of this unit's victory points, preserving 30 points. Wow, 30 victory points. I'm preserving my Marauder Horsemen, and I can potentially hunt down this Ogre Bull and deny them, 60 victory points. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go 16 inches this way. Okay, we absolutely can't hunt down the Ogre Bull. That's okay. I'm just going to spin these around. These guys are going to... Okay, so... Real quick, I think they're close to halfway. So just going to reform them this turn. So they're going to reform... Whoops. And then I don't need to wheel them, so they're reforming around that, and then next turn they're just going to 8-inch march this way. These guys are going to... They're facing a really awkward direction because of the way I rallied them, because I wasn't thinking about it. So we're just going to turn them around. That's going to consume 3.5 inches of their movement. And then they're just going to move like 1... No, they're going to turn, and then they're going to wheel a bit. That's what they're going to do. Whoops. I don't know how far that was, so I'm going to have to just sort of trust that this is okay, and I'm just going to them like a little bit closer. Okay, crossbowmen. Can they see this guy? Serious question. This bit doesn't protect him. Oh yeah, 100% they can see this guy. Okay, so they're gonna stay there. I'd say whoops, I pre-measured, but like, I didn't need to. I know how far away these guys are. So these guys are gonna take a shot at him. He is in cover and it is long range. So again, this is 6s to hit, 4s to wound, 6s to save, and if we score 3 wounds, we only scored 1 wound. That is sad. If we scored 3 wounds, that would have been like huge for the game. Okay, so with that out of the way, this is on to the Ogres turn 5. The Noblars are bickering this guy. So he's a unit of 1, but he moves like a monster, so he has to actually like spend his time turning. So he's going to consume half his movement, and then we're going to go 1.5 into the bushes. So he is now completely safe. These guys are charging. I should have done that in the reverse order. Whatever, it's fine. Fear check. 4. They have passed. With that said, really thinking about this, do I want to flee? They'll flee directly away, so they would go into the Noblars. No, I'm going to stand. I'm going to take my lumps like a man. And then I know these guys are definitely going in, so I'm just going to scoot them over. Wheel them. Oh yeah, the Ogre Bruiser did get a victory in... No, he didn't kill her in a challenge, did he? So he didn't get anything other than a bonus armor save from the Gut Maul, which is honestly enough. He doesn't need more than that. Move this guy over to here. And yeah, 40mm bases, 20mm bases. 3 of them will be touching. Okay. So then, impact hits. Don't even need to roll that part. 2 on a 3. 1d6. Alright, 3 guys die on the back. And then we have 4 attacks. 6 attacks, sorry. Hit on 4s still? Yep. Wound on 2s, save on 7s. 2 more guys die. That's these 2. And then, once again, yeah, Tyrant isn't going to use the shield. He's just going to plow into them. Extra attacks. And he hit nothing. He rolled 3 2s and 2 1s. Impressive. It doesn't matter, these guys are automatically fleeing. They go 2d6 inches, 10 inches away. They go into the Noblars, so they perish automatically. And these guys go 6 inches after them. Doesn't matter, because they fled into another unit. They die. So we remove them. And that is end of turn 5. End of turn 5. So yeah, as I said, we're going to march these guys 8 inches. We are going to sprint to the horses 16 inches this way. We're going to move the Chaos Hounds a little bit forward. We're going to wheel the Chaos Hounds a little bit forward. And we're just going to push the Chaos Hounds as far forward as we can. That's like fine. They're going through rough terrain and stuff. Actually, no, they've got to march. There you go. That's fine. Okay, final turn. This unit can't do anything. This unit can't do anything. We're just going to call it here. And I am going to have to do some quick victory point calculations. I am not going to go look up the rules that I said I was going to look up until after I have calculated everything else. And I will just like leave it in a comment if I remember to do so. And if I forget, you can yell at me in the comments to do so. If it doesn't matter. Okay, so very quickly, the Ogres have lost. Okay, so 300 victory points for occupying the 3 of the 4 quadrants. 1 dead unit of Ogre Bulls. 1 half-strength unit of Ogre Bulls. 1 dead unit of Lead Belchers. Brings them to 658 victory points. Meanwhile, for the Hordes of Chaos, we have... So for the Ogres, they've got 1 secured thing, 132 points of Aspiring Champion did, 160 points of Marauders, 90 points of Marauders. No, this one's half strength, so that's 90 divided by 2. 36 points of Warhounds, 80 points of Marauders, 75 points of Chaos Furies, and 85 points of Crossbowmen. And I believe killing the General is another 100 points. So it's 813. Off the top of my head, I think that's a decisive victory. I'm going to double check that before I finish this video for you. Okay, so 13 minus 658.5. 154, which is a minor victory for the Ogres. And the banner rules do not matter in this instance. If they do have a captured banner, it only adds an extra 100 points, which does not push them out of the minor victory category. That was actually really fun. I like Ogre Kingdoms. I kind of like Ogre Kingdoms. Let me clarify that. I like rolling lots of dice to attack with. I don't like having very small units. The fear of losing one guy and just seeing like a bunch of your power just crumble away is really bad. But the game, but like everything else is pretty fun. I like that the versatility of Iron Fists. I think that's really cool. I hate that I forget about Noblar's bickering, but I forget about all sorts of rules like that, so I'm not surprised. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. But if you enjoyed this battle report, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Engagement makes the algorithm like me more. I still have another 26 of these to record, 21 of these to record. I don't know how many I'm doing this month. It's either 25 or 31. But tune in next time, tomorrow, because I have Amazon. No. Do I have Amazon? No, I have Skaven and Tomb Kings tomorrow. I'm doing a little Warbands game, 400 points. Busting out some new terrain pieces. I will talk more about that when I get to it. But until then, boy.